Today we are returning to the world of the Nikkatsu erotica film, and these films just give me a feeling. Not much of a warm blanket, cozy feeling, more like a wet, cold, dirty blanket, but it's still a blanket. And today's Nikkatsu masterpiece, Female Prisoner 101, suck. And does this film suck like this movie's Prisoners? I'm a clever little fella. I guess you'll have to find out by liking, subscribing, and commenting. The film starts with a woman spitting out man milk. But there's no man around her in the jail cell, so is it the milk of Christ? Anyways, after that lady tries to jump king herself out of a window, but she gets stopped by the guards, and she goes completely crazy for Cocoa Puffs. Then we get the opening title sequence, which is just an opening title sequence from Nikkatsu. We get some names, and we discover that this film stars I'm gonna try not to mess this up. Naomi Tani, who is probably most famous for my viewers as the girl who starred in Flowers and Snake, one of my favorite Nikkatsu films. Anyways, after the title sequence, we get some typical women in prison action. The cellmates are introduced to their new cellmates, a young girl who just got in for stealing and shoplifting, and the older woman in the jail cell, who's not really all there, takes that as this girl stole her husband. So they get into a fight, but it is split up by the girl boss of the jail cell. This is important because the young girl and the girl boss, well, they develop this lesbianic relationship that runs through the entire film. Anyways, one of the lady has a flashback, which is not really important to the story, it's just for the filmmakers to show you titties in a non-very sexy way, if you understand what I mean. Japan. And then we get to the meat and taters of this film, Naomi. Is it Naomi? Jesus Christ, I'm bad with names. And that is Naomi's backstory. You see, she used to be a prostitute, and she was pimped out by this not-so-good guy. Eventually, she got tired of it, or she got enough money, so she bought a bar. But one night, outside of the bar, she hears a fight going on. She goes to see what's happening, and there she finds a dude playing guitar. Well, he's not playing anymore because his guitar is broken. She invites him over to her apartment, and I guess she cannot resist a man who looks like he can play a mediocre cover of Wonderwall perfectly. So they start to frolic. A lot. They fall in love. She loves him, he loves her, and he loves playing music. So the next day, while she's cooking up some breakfast, he starts to play his guitar, and she thinks to herself, damn, he's very talented. So she tells him, and that excites him, so they frolic some more. Then the movie remembers that it's supposed to be about female prisoners, so we go back to the jail where the ladies are doing hard labor. And some of the ladies are not too happy with the relationship between the girl boss and the new girl. So they attack the new girl by putting a snake in her pants and shoving grass in her mouth. Of course, girl boss is not a fan of that, and she goes to defend her queen. Since the other prisoners are kind of scared of girl boss, they let her go, and then we get some more backstory from Naomi. We see her at her bar while the dude is just strumming on his guitar and singing a love song, and then her pimps walk in. And her pimp starts talking to her about the dude playing guitar, how he's very talented. And good thing is, the pimp has connection in the music industry. Who would have guessed? So he tells Naomi that he could give this dude a very good career, which she believes, so much so that she mortgages her bar. This is not gonna turn out well for either of them, because later in the flashback, we see them discuss about Naomi's investment, and basically the dude is like, yeah, the record label went bankrupt and I lost all of your money. And then she sees that he's saying that while he's doing drugs, so of course she's upset and they get into an argument, but you know, a Nikkatsu type of argument. There's not a lot of yelling, but there's a lot of sucking butt cheeks. Eventually, she gets out of there, not before murdering her ex-pimp. You go, girl. Then I feel like a woman. Wow, that was fucking Christ. I am tired. Which explains why she's in jail. Anyways, we cut back to the jail because again, this is supposed to be a female prison movie, not a romantic musical, and Naomi is kind of sad, and she hears the new girl singing a song that she recognizes. She's like, where do you hear that from? How do you know that song? And she tells her, well, it's very popular out there. So we learn that the singer has now a very lucrative singing career, which kind of turns Naomi's brain a bit meh. She goes crazy for him. Later, she asks the new girl in the bath about the singer, and she goes crazy. She starts a fight in the rec room because they turn on the channel where he's performing, and she just goes insane in the membrane. During that time, her lesbianic couple go at it, but they get found out by the guards, and they are not happy about it, so they put the new girl in solitary confinement, which really upsets the girl boss. So much so that the next day that they're doing hard labor, she goes off the rails at the old bitch who she suspects of, you know, telling the guards on them. This leads to a prison riot where our two ladies, the lesbian and the Naomi, get out of jail. Only issue is they're handcuffed together. They meet truckers, and the truckers, well, you know, they get excited at the sight of two women. They get to escape that to finally, you know, rip the chain off the handcuffs, which also leads to our lesbian getting killed by the people who own the factory where they went to cut off the handcuffs. And we also learn that the lesbian is also a virgin, which is hard to believe, but anyways, the men get excited even more at that idea. I don't know why, but they do in these movies. And yeah, they jump on her, they get into a fight, she accidentally gets killed, and then she tells Naomi to just go. Which she does, and she goes to see the singer, who's very happy to see her, even though he is getting married to another woman pretty soon. So they frolic a bit, and then we see the singer's dark side. Boom, 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 invert filter on. And yeah, he chokes her while they're having sex. Not in the fun, kinky way, in the this woman is dead kind of way. And he shoves her in his trunk, and he goes to perform, but then when he performs, his future wife takes the car, and we can clearly see that there's a body in the goddamn trunk, and then end credits. That's how the movie ends, with the shot of the trunk and a hand coming out of it. Beautiful. So, what did I think of Female Prisoner 101? Suck! Well, I'm a big fan of women in prison films, as you guys can guess, and Japan has made the best one. That is just a straight fact that cannot be disputed. That is Female Prisoner 701 Scorpion, which leads me to believe that they were kind of trying to, you know, play with that fact, you know, 101, 701, but this is nothing like the Meiko Kaji picture, even though Naomi Tani pretty much saves this movie from being just another Nikkatsu women in prison film to being something a bit better. Her performance is great, she's harrowing, she does a great job at being the scorned lover. I don't know, she's just really good in everything she's in. It was directed by another person that you should be familiar with if you've been watching this channel for a while. That is Koyo Ohara, who made, of course, Fairy in a Cage and a various of other Pinku and Nikkatsu films that I've covered. The cinematography is great, the music is good, the plot kind of is a lot. It can be convoluted at times, but to me it kind of works, and yeah, it's a pretty decent film. Is it my favorite of these Nikkatsu women in prison film? Absolutely not, but is it a good one? Yes. So do I recommend it? I'm a pervert, of course I recommend it. You guys know, you guys should know me at this point.